Okay, we continue in the 29th chapter. As we expressed yesterday, this is a challenging chapter, challenging us in having real ownership of our lives. And real ownership means to dig very deep. It's interesting, I was dealing with someone this morning after our davening with challenges dealing with someone with their child and in school, and challenges that there are, that we all experience, and how to first deal with boundaries and then dig deeper. What are the appropriate boundaries in life? And then from the appropriate boundaries and dig deeper, why is it that this upsets you? Why is this hurting you? Why does it hurt you, not somebody else? Right? Why do you have difficulties with these boundaries? Just everything divinely orchestrated. So we spoke about dealing with boundaries is the surface. Don't walk into another classroom because you heard something that maybe is inappropriate, discussing with the father of a child. But why would you do that is a deeper thing. What is it that is the challenge deep down inside? In any case, the point I'm using that is just a metaphor for us to appreciate that in our lives, we can deal with surface things, which sometimes that's the way we need to begin. It's just simple behavior. Don't cross that boundary. Bite your tongue. Don't say that nasty thing. But then there's digging deeper. Why would you want to say something nasty? Or why would you want to, if someone said something nasty to you, why does it bother you? It's their thing. It's their problem. Why is it bothering you that someone said something nasty to you? So that's digging deeper and trying to figure out, why am I hurt? Hey, someone else's nastiness should bother me. That's their problem, not mine. The fact that it does bother me means it shows on something deeper within me. That's taking greater ownership of your life, of course. So this is what we're dealing with over here, but this is really deep stuff, right? What are we talking about? We're talking about the Beinoni, who, like all of us, sometimes the spark is gone. Sometimes the spontaneity of being connected to God is just dull. Our hearts are dull. Not that we're doing bad things even, because remember, the Beinoni has mastery over thought, speech, and action, so the Beinoni is, got it together. Except feelings. Feelings we can't control. Only the righteous can. You and I can't. Even the Beinoni, complete mastery over behavior, can't. And therefore wants to dig deeper and be able to touch that part inside that of the heart that isn't aflame, isn't full of divine love, isn't, is hurt by things. Doesn't express it, but it's pained. So we began speaking that, you got to have a conversation with yourself. And today we're going to start that conversation. What does that consist? What's the conversation that you have with yourself in order to break the heart of stone that you have inside of you? This is what we're talking about. The heart of stone that's not allowing you to feel connected when you pray properly. And even though the Beinoni actually does, but, it's not lasting. It's not deep enough. It's not powerful enough. In other words, always seeking to improve. We can always, and as I've said many times, I say it again, I'm talking to myself. And you know how I know I'm talking to myself? Because you know what? When I give a class on Zoom, I see other people. You know who I see right now? Only me. I see your names, but I only see me. And that's actually really good, because I got to talk to me. That's the conversation. Not a conversation you have with someone else to give it to them over the head, but a conversation I need to have with myself to give it to me over the head. To who knows me best? No one else but me. No one else but me. So what's the conversation? First of all, the conversation is knowing who I am. I'm not righteous. So therefore, my first response to anything in life will be from the animal soul. Right? It's not going to be from the godly soul. Like as we explained, Hillel the elder, when he went to eat, he would say that, oh, I'm going to do a favor to my lowness, which he saw his bodily needs as extraneous to him. Who's him? Godly. Who's him? Him is the capacity to just sense connection to God and connection to everything in life. And food and those kind of things, are secondary, are extraneous, not the real me. But that's not me. That's the righteous. Me, I feel when I'm hungry and I feel that I'm not doing a favor to me, I'm like, hey, this is me. Feeling me. So I'm talking to the me, right? So the Alter Rebbe says like this: I need to humble myself. I need to crush the negative nature of my body and animal soul's agenda. Not to crush the body. That's not the path of Hasidic teachings, is to diminish, roll in the snow because, your body is whatever and your soul is great and your body. No. But the nature of the body needs to be humble. In other words, your body's talking to you, says, hey, I'm hungry. Hey, take care of my comfort. I want comfort. I want to feel good. Your body doesn't say, I want to be good. Your soul says, I want to be good. Your body says, I want to feel good. That notion needs to be humbled. Right? That notion needs to be humbled. So how do we humble that? So this is the conversation. This is going to be tough. This is going to be, there's not a blame game over here. It's the change game. It's not about blaming here, right? And that's why it's going to be difficult for us to hear these words, right? He says, whoa, hey, don't blame me for that. It's not about blame. The Beinoni wants to make real change and doesn't want the nature of the body and the animal soul to rule and to be in control and to, it needs to be humbled. So he wants a game change, not a blame change. Not a blame game, it's a game change. Okay? What does that mean? So he says to himself, only say this to you, don't say it to someone else. I'm really distant from God. Why am I saying that? If that's going to bring you down, don't say it. If you could own it and think about yourself, that you're distant from God, even though in actual practice the Beinoni isn't doing anything wrong, but because who I am is in other words, first responder in my life is my animal soul, that makes me distant. In that sense, I'm distant. I have cravings for things that are either forbidden or even things that are permissible that I don't really need. And in that way, I'm inferior and then even non-kosher animals. Why? Because non-kosher animal is, even though, it's non-kosher, is acting the way it's supposed to act. A lion is acting the way it's supposed to act, meaning the way it was created. But me, I have urges that are, And that makes me worse than even that animal. As King David writes in Tehillim, but I am a worm and not a man. I was worse than a worm in a sense, because a worm is being a worm. Me? I'm not being what I could be, right? I prayed today, and I prayed with fervor. Again, this is the conversation the Beinoni's having. But it wasn't real, because after prayer, those feelings left. They dissipated. So it wasn't true. It wasn't real truth. Even though previously we explained it's a relative truth. Again, remember, this is only about speaking to that negative nature in you in order to humble it, to crush it. If this is too much, don't do. I don't suggest anybody does this. We're teaching it. I'll bring out a personal way that we can relate to this shortly. But this is, again, a Beinoni who has mastery over themselves, wants to humble this negativity within, because they're not feeling really connected. They have a heart of stone. They're feeling the spark isn't really there. Especially the conversation continues. You call to mind things that you did wrong, what they're called sins of youth. Maybe you're a 50 or 60-year-old person now, right, whose sins of youth are long gone. And not only that, you already did tshuva for them. You repented for them, right? But then the Beinoni they say to themselves, yeah, but if I really, truly repented, then I wouldn't be in this place right now where I feel I have a heart of stone. I'd be closer. So obviously, I didn't repent sufficiently. What does it mean? The heart has many layers to it. And you think about it, how often have we said we're sorry for something, and then when we dig deeper, we realize that there's something much more to be sorry about. There's much more of a hole in our soul, and a pain that we caused for another by what we did. And the more we dig deeply, the more we see that, hey, there's more to reconnect to God. There's more to penitence to be done. Layers of the heart. There's the external layer. There's deeper, deeper, and deeper. So remember, this is the Beinoni who's holding complete responsibility. And this is what King David said. My sins are constantly before me. Even though King David did tshuva on them, whatever sins he owned it and did tshuva, but they're before him. They're not before him like this, because then you can't live life. But they're before him from a distance, that you don't forget them. Why would you forget? I mean, come on. You owned your sins. You already dealt with it. Why are you still there before you? Is because if you really want to come closer to God, if you really want to improve in your life, then even those things that you did wrong, you can fix them in a deeper way in your heart. You can dig deeper, and it can be an agent to propel you to become even closer and closer to God. So, therefore, at times, and that's why when the term is lenegdi, means opposite, before me, like but from a distant. It shouldn't be like this, your sins, because then you're going to just feel lousy at all times because, hey. But they're at a distant. Why? That they're easy recall. That when you're doing something like this, thinking in a calm moment these ideas and having a conversation with yourself in order to humble the negativity within you, so you can then recall even those things that you've dealt with in the past, but now you can dig deeper and cleanse and break the negativity from within, humble the nature of that animal's soul, in order that ultimately Where do you think this is ultimately going to go? Ultimately, after the next, not the next chapter, but the chapter after that, then we're going to come to even a greater joy. This is only something for a brief moment, because ultimately, this is not at all where we're supposed to be. We will learn that where we're supposed to be is always in a joyful disposition. But again, sometimes we're not able to have that true joy. The spark is not alive. So what we need to do is own our stuff in such a way, like the Beinoni over here, having this conversation with yourself, not with someone else, in the sense like, you know yourself best, and change comes from within. And yeah. The Alter Rebbe is going to take this further. It ain't over till it's over. Of how deep we can deal with this. Again, I'm forewarning everybody. For some people, or for most of us, this might be a little over the top. And I understand that. I want to give you an example of where you can apply this kind of thing in human relationships. And where it is a little over the top, but it's something that over the top that we can handle. In a human relationship, often, we have difficulties and challenges, and we have things that, someone does. Excuse me. And the other party is very guilty for what they have done. And for your part, or my part, your part, might be very little. Might be negligent compared to what they did. And that might be like, from sort of, a very objective perspective. But if we are going to really own everything properly, even if maybe I'm only 10% wrong, did wrong in this and the other person was 90% wrong, human nature would be that, they need to ask for forgiveness. They need to own their stuff. My 10%? I mean, it was only in response to the way you acted, so I acted, da-da-da-da. A real person, what we're talking about over here, who wants to really do the right thing and to be connected to God appropriately, will own the 10%, even when the other person won't own 90%. Even. So, well, that's not fair. Who said life's fair, first of all? And what is the wrong that someone else did got to do with me owning my part? The fact that someone else won't own their part, and even though it's much more there for them to own, that doesn't diminish the ownership that I have for my wrong, even though it might be only 10%. And the other person is like way off the board, 90%, they created this problem. True, and it may be 100% true, but I can't own anything for someone else. I might bring awareness to them, and and maybe they will own, won't own. Maybe they'll own partially, maybe not fully. Maybe very little, if nothing. That's between them and God. It affected me. All right. That's already divinely orchestrated. But what's that got to do with my part? As small as it might be. That is a real mensch who can, in spite of that situation, realize that, hey, and not say, well, you own yours and I'll own mine. That's not real ownership. You say sorry, I'll say sorry. Listen, after all, 9/10 of it is your fault. That's manipulating. That's what you mean, trying to control someone else. Who can control? Who can you control? Only yourself. So that there's 10% that you could have done better. What's that got to do with the other person, that they're not ready to be better? If you want to just be comfortable in life, so then obviously, I feel good about myself. It's not about feeling good. That's the animal soul talk. Feel good about yourself. Be good. Oh, there's 10% here you could be better, that you could have owned. Own it. That's something we can take out from what we learned over here. That's not a Beinoni, by the way. Beinoni is much deeper, what we learned over here today. Well, at least on our level, that is something that we could maybe relate to. I hope you can relate to that idea. Tell me, does that make sense to you? I mean, I don't make sense. It makes sense. Are you ready for that? It's the truth. And then we're not always ready to live with the truth. Right? All right, I know now that. What did we learn today that you know? Please share that. Who is ready to come on and share? Wow, Marjan. Oh, okay. Marjan from Atlanta. I hope this is going to work. Yeet. Is your phone like this? Needs to be? Looks like doesn't look like it's starting. It's working. Rena says, I know now that to break the heart of stone, when I don't feel connected, I need to humble the nature of the body and the animal soul. Excellent. Oh, no answer. One more try. Yes, one more try. Make sure your settings are that you can have your, oh, wow. It worked. Can't hear you though. Hi, Marjan. How are you? Are you teaching right now? We can't hear you. We can't. I can't. We can't hear you. Oh. No, it's not. It's not working. Oh, 1 second. Almost. Oh, no. Oh, no. Can't hear you. Are you there with my daughter? Teaching? No. Is your volume up? Yeah. Can you put your volume up? No. Oh, that's the classroom. She's a teacher, the same school as my daughter. All right. Marjan, you're gonna have to figure out something with your audio, and please, I think it's putting on the volume or something. You have to check the settings, but at least it was a good beginning. All right. I don't know what happened there. Oh, okay. Marjan, if you don't mind to go off, and then we can try Leah Solish. Oh, okay. There we go. This is the principal of the school. Her phone. Hopefully it'll work. Phone needs to be horizontal. Okay.
Is it working now?
There we go. It's working.
Hello. Mushki is not here because, can you hear
Yes,
us?
we hear you.
Okay, good. So Mushki's not here because her schedule depends on the baby's schedule.
Okay.
But I wanted to just tell you about the story because it sort of relates to today's message. When I first came across you, it's because I used to listen to tons of podcasts and all this reading in the morning, but then I had a concussion. And I was so overwhelmed in the mornings because I couldn't make sense of anything. I would listen to these readings by Musar, and I was like, I don't even know what he's saying. And I didn't realize up to that point how much of my pride was tied in with my brain, because I always saw myself as this person as intelligent. I never said it out loud, but I knew for myself. And it was like starting from scratch. And someone sent me a video of you, and it was just like a 1-minute video. And it was a hand, you had your hand up. And you said, I can look at my hand in 2 different ways. And I remember one of the ways you said, I can look at it to serve, to give. And it had such an effect on me. And this was last June, I believe. Because I thought, I'm never going to get better. The doctor kept saying, you're going to be fine. I'm like, I can't even do a crossword puzzle. I don't remember putting groceries in. I will never teach again. All those things that were weighing me down. And that video of remembering that really it's, when we talk about the animal soul, it's not always obvious things like pride and having an idol and things like that. Sometimes it's about the things inside of us, like our brain, which we know it's a gift, but it's taken the place of what's really supposed to matter in this life. So, and I wanted to show you this other thing. One of my students, one of the things I never did before is I always told everyone, no arts and crafts, there's no time for that, because I was always into bringing up test scores and this and that. I have somebody here for you. And then, but now I spend a lot of time with the kids having slow talks and learning from them. Look at who I have.
Oh,
Hi, Tom.
this is my daughter, Kayla, who teaches.
I work with the lovely Marjan, and we are really lucky to live in Atlanta. I mean, I have the best father in the world, and now it's Marjan's adopted father, so we're all lucky.
So now every morning, ever since that day, at 7:30 and 9:30, I start my day with you, and 9:30 when I'm driving to work, I'm listening to you, or if I'm at home, I listen to you. So thank you.
Wow, this is overwhelming.
I love you.
Love you.
Best dad ever,
Thank
guys.
you.
I know you call him top to him, but he's really mine.
Thank you.
Bye.
This is overwhelming.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
God bless you. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And by the way, I have another daughter that's working there that she comes in a bit later to teach. So it's like double power. And then Marjan who connects them. Well, folks, that's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. The effect of these teachings, the effect of us every day learning together is something awesome. All right. Please share with others. Rabbi Ronnie Fine coming to you from Chabad Zurich and Kadesh in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for being also part of the family.